welcome back, everybody. As if none of the takes ever happened. Go ahead, Raph. I'll let you. I knew he was like waiting for that one.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you.
I like that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad we've learned our lesson.
I did that on purpose.
I know you did. Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Bento Boxcast. Today, we're going to be talking about a lot of topics, and we're very, very excited for. Some a little bit more somber than others. For example, Cowboy Bebop was canceled after its first season. We're going to talk about Platinum End, Demon Slayer Season 2, Episode 9, but it's technically Episode 2 of the District Arc, or Entertainment District Arc, and the Fall Week 10 rankings. Of course, we come to you live and direct on the Geek Jar Podcast channel, but you're going to hear from myself, Hector.
Oh, me, Renee. Hi.
My name is Rafa.
Okay.
People are gonna stop watching
I
this.
know.
That was terrible.
So like, oh, dies of cringe.
I had to think about my name for a sec.
What was it again?
Oh.
But yeah, guys, welcome back. Now you can find us on all audio platforms associated with Anchor.com, as well as here on, like I said, the homestay, our main base, our club room,
Yeah.
Geek Jar Podcast.
I'm club president, by the way.
Why?
Yeah.
What makes
Hey,
you
shut
club
up, oh, you over there. It doesn't exist. I'm the club president. I called it.
You can't call it.
I called
It has
it.
to be voted. This is democracy.
This is a what?
Democracy.
Oh. All right, vote for me. Renee, vote for me. See, Psyduck, vote for me.
No.
My boy.
I don't think you're
I
gonna
don't
pick it
know.
up.
I
It's
wish
not
you
gonna
would pick it
up.
up, but it's
Okay,
not
yeah,
going to. You
yeah.
gotta like stuff it in the dude's
Yeah.
arm.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay. You got
Here we
the
go.
listings?
we do. Okay, so
Oh.
I mean, honestly, I thought we were gonna do a little bit of Woody Bandit there, but okay, Rafa.
Oh, I was gonna.
No
I
shit.
thought we were gonna
My
talk about.
bad.
Did you finish Cowboy, the live action?
No, I didn't. It got canceled, so I'm like, why even?
Oh, so you stopped?
No, I just haven't done it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I
Oh.
didn't dive into it at all.
Yeah,
Like,
I just haven't done it.
I watched episode 1, and then I saw that it got canceled a few days later, and I was like,
I'm still gonna finish it.
Are you okay?
I just haven't gotten around to doing it. I've been actually pretty good this week with like keeping up with everything. You know, like last week I was saying how I left everything for Saturday.
Mhm.
This week I actually was pretty
ooh,
up to date, so everything didn't stack on me on one day. So, but it's pretty good stuff. Comin's still good. Semi's annoying. It was alright. It was kind of a boring episode this week. Trying to think what else.
wait, your number one show was boring this week?
It's like it's because they did something really fun. The last 2 episodes, and this one was more like it was more just like them kind of hanging out, and I want them to push more on like the romance side of things now. You know, but they're not really doing that. But it's just it comes with the territory with this type of this type of anime, like romantic comedy type things. Like they always fuck around until like the last episode when they're like actually start doing stuff. So, Mieruko-chan was a lot of fun. Still pretty good.
Mhm.
You know, scary ghosts, all that stuff. So, and we talked about it before we started recording, which maybe we should have recorded that conversation. But Blue Period still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Blue Period has been really dope. It's probably the one show that I'm like continuously coming back to and watching.
Yeah.
Besides Mushoku Tensei, but that's for like separate reasons. Which, by the way, we did have a comment that was dropped by. I will find your name right now, but they dropped a comment saying that it's actually not the anime that's changing things. It was actually the manga originally, because Mushoku Tensei was a light novel at first. I have been reading more so the manga than anything, and I mean, I'm loving everything that's happening in the manga. I love that, I mean, to me, this is like the source material. Obviously not the actual source, which is the light novel, but I loved what they were doing there. And I don't exactly like what they kind of changed in the anime, because I feel like it's too different. Now, I mean, if you do end up seeing this video again, viewer's name who I shall find, but, is the anime, and this is a question for those who actually read the light novels and are know way more than I do about the show, is the anime a big change compared to the light novel? Like, is it we're gonna change it in the manga and then change it again and double down in the anime? Because if that's the case, then I don't know. I feel like this shouldn't be getting the high praise it is, but maybe it's just getting the high praise it is because of how good the anime is. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, is it even though they're changing from the original source, is it is it the change is good? You know, is it making the story even better?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because most of the time when they do change things around, it typically doesn't really work. You know, one thing I can think off top of my head is Soul Eater. They fucked up the ending of Soul Eater. They fucked up the whole story really. When they stopped following the manga, Fullmetal Alchemist, the original run, even though it didn't follow the manga that closely, it still was pretty decent. But Brotherhood was way better with the storytelling, which did follow the manga. So like, it really depends. Like, is it better, or is, even though, or if it's different enough, is it still good compared to the light novel? That's my question.
Yeah. So, cause like, yeah. So, for example, it's LDVR 1995 said about Mushoku Tensei, it isn't the anime changing things; it's the manga who is different to the light novel. So I guess picking up from like what the comment he left off, it sounds like the manga or the anime is more true to what happened in the light novel.
Oh, okay.
So if that's the case, then I mean, cool, I guess. I just like the manga better. I think the manga, like the way they kind of told the story and kind of how they elaborate on certain things, it just felt more fluid and like nicer to me than the way the manga or the anime is going. But you know, I'm still enjoying it. And we took a peek at like, you know, this week's fall rankings for week 10, and yeah, it has a really good spot on the list. I won't spoil it, but it has a really good spot on the list. And yeah, but kind of going back on, well, actually, Renee, how's your anime journey this past week?
So now I haven't had a chance to like catch up on the fall stuff. So like I'm behind on Blue Period and Mieruko-chan, but they're still on my list. Now that, you know, with Demon Slayer, you know, back on, like I'm into that. And then actually we'll talk about it a little bit later, but for Anime Swap, I got really, really into that show. So ended up watching more than I probably should, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
So yeah, that's so much on my end. And I mean, I had finished Cowboy too. I mean, we talked about it, and I know, yeah, so season 2 had gotten canceled. I'm not like completely bummed about it. Like, it was a really good show. Would I have liked to see more? Sure, but it doesn't bother me that there isn't. I mean, it could have gone either way.
Yeah. Okay.
And sorry for spoiler alerts, but like, I don't know. Are you gonna watch, Rafa? Like,
what?
This, Cowboy, are you gonna finish?
Yes, you can spoil it if you want.
Okay. Well, that season ends with us seeing Ed at the very end.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, cool. Like, we might actually see a season 2 with Ed in there. And I was really excited because Ed's one of my favorite characters. So it would have been cool to see them longer. That's my only thing. But I think the anime is much more entertaining than the actual live action. But it was still good for what it was.
Okay.
But that was it. That was my journey so far at this point. So
yeah, I feel like now because it's been canceled, I don't really care to watch it.
Yeah, I was like reading the comments on some of the posts on Instagram, and a lot of people were in the same boat. They like watched probably like the first few episodes, and then the minute they heard that it got canceled, they just didn't want to even continue with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think it's still worth finishing. But I mean, to each his own. Like, if you're not into it, you're not into it. But it was still a really good watch. I thought John Cho did a great job as Spike. They had an amazing cast. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate.
I didn't really read like a ton of I guess like sources where it kind of gave the full reasoning as to why they canceled. But it sounds like a lot of it was due to like fan voicing out that they like dislike it or that they don't want to see anything live action for this like beloved show. And it kind of scared me for the One Piece live action that's coming soon.
Yeah.
But it's a little different because they're getting, I mean, John Cho, he's still maybe not the top actor, but he's still an actor that is somewhat known or well known, depending on who you ask. But yeah, like these actors that are coming in for One Piece, like they are, I don't want to say nobody, but they're like low actors who are kind of starting their come up, or maybe they're in some things that I've just never seen or whatever. But if fans are so outright against, you know, this Cowboy Bebop Netflix live action edition or version, then I'm just kind of scared to see what they or how people react for the One Piece one. However, I'm not entirely sure if the Cowboy Bebop creator like had a hand in like the creation of the show, and that I'll probably have to do some research on. But I know that the creator for One Piece, which is Oda, Eiichiro Oda, is like he does have kind of his hands in the pot for like this Netflix adaptation, and he helped hand select some of these cast members. So it's like, so it's having a little faith in it, but seeing how quickly this Cowboy Bebop kind of crashed after seeing it, kind of looked really good in like the lost adventure or whatever episode that
like
they kind of showed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it looked good there, but obviously it can't be the cuts and everything continuously, which I don't even think it was the case in the actual show. So it's just like it's a little worrying, but I'm hoping the anime community and especially the One Piece community isn't so quick to shoot down this cool idea of like live action. And yeah, I mean, it kind of really sucks.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't know if it was just the community, but I think just Netflix too. Like, I don't think the show generated it did well. Like, I think the numbers, like, it made a lot of money, but I guess there was a certain like goal that they wanted or they were expecting from the show, and like because Netflix didn't see the numbers, they canceled. Because there were a lot of people, even though there were people who were like iffy about the show, there were still a lot of people who were behind it. They absolutely loved the live action. They were really stoked to see more of it, and then yeah, Netflix just kind of was like didn't even want to give it a second season. So I don't know how much of it is actually the community and how much is just Netflix just being Netflix, and it's like it's not making the money, just cut it. Because a lot of people were thinking with that ending to season 1 that season 2 was gonna do like a much better job, like it was creating this whole new world, with now Ed and everything. Yeah, I guess we will never know, but I hope Netflix, with One Piece, I think One Piece is gonna be great. I feel like we shouldn't judge it yet. Like I know there was hate behind the Cowboy cast. There's hate behind the One Piece, but I think everyone looked great. You got to give it a shot for what it is, and I just hope Netflix gives it a fair chance.
Yeah.
So I guess we have to wait and see.
Either way, even though it got canceled, we're on the right path for like a live action adaptations. We had Death Note, which was garbage.
That one was a little rough
so
to watch.
Yeah, right. So even though Cowboy got canceled, it's still an amazing improvement from Death Note.
Yeah, it was good. It was still a good watch.
So so even though we don't know how Netflix is gonna be with One Piece, but like I still have faith that it's still gonna come out like a good show. It might not make it to like a second season, but it gives me hope for the whole live action adaptation of anime.
And maybe like One Piece, I mean, I'm assuming they're in production now, or maybe not, but like maybe they'll learn something from Cowboy's mistakes, and maybe it'll be a little bit better. I don't know.
Right.
So I think you're right. I think we're on the right path. We just have to give it a fair chance.
See, the scary part though is like Cowboy Bebop is kind of realistic. I mean, it's like in space, but they're for the most part they're like humans, things like that. But like in One Piece, there's literally like fishmen people, which are, and there's like Luffy, who has the ability, he's a rubber man, so he can stretch. Like Sanji, who is a cook, but his literal legs go on fire because he like spins so fast that like his legs combust. I think that's the word. And yeah, it's like there's these crazy feats that they do in this show. So it's like it was something that in theory should work out as a live action, like Cowboy Bebop doesn't, and we're going from that to something as crazy as One Piece. Like it's kind of a little scary of a thought to think of.
Yeah, you make a good point.
So it's just like
a really good point.
So that kind of worries me the most, really, about this, because it's like I said, Cowboy Bebop and should have worked, but I don't know. Again, if it's Netflix just saying, "Oh, no money."
What was the last time we saw a live action Rubberman? Was Fantastic Four, and that was hot garbage also. So
which version though? Because we had
all of them. They all
the
sucked.
one with Jessica
the
Alba is the one, right? That was really bad.
They all sucked.
No, the one created by Fox later on, the newer one.
The newest one was the worst one.
No, okay, as a story it was really bad, but the visual effects were really, really good.
They all
I
suck.
don't know if I saw that.
I have to rewatch
the
it. It's been
latest
so long.
The
Granted, I
last
know
one I
it's
saw was
terrible.
with Jessica Alba. That's the only actress I remember from.
Mm-hmm. And
And Chris
Show.
Evans
Yeah, Chris Evans.
Oh, there you go.
as the Human Torch.
Okay, there you go. That.
Yeah,
I didn't like that one.
yeah. It sounds sucked.
Yeah, that was not that good.
And then the sequel sucked with Silver Surfer.
That one's absolutely
think I've seen
terrible.
it.
Yeah,
But
and
this
then-
isn't the panel.
You're right. This
Yeah,
isn't.
I'll keep it for that. But moving on, guys, we do have the week 10 rankings for the fall 2020 anime. But what's a good transition with this one?
Sure.
I really don't know. We have to find out. All right, that's fine.
There you go.
Not bad. All right, transitioning on to the next topic, guys. We do have, like I said, the week 10 rankings for the anime of the fall season. Now, I'm going to start off
From December 3rd to December 10th. Those are like the week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're right. Good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
the dates.
I completely forgot. My
Yeah,
God, so thank you.
because some of the anime that's on that list, the newest episode already came out.
Very true.
Yeah.
And we're gonna start off at number 16 because that's where the most notable one that we can think of is that, and that's Blue Period.
Ah,
Very sad that that doesn't even hit
Womp
top
womp.
15 anymore. Granted, I'm not surprised. Actually, I'm surprised over one of them. Number 15 is Platinum End.
Yeah.
Number 14 is Aquatope of White Sand. Number 13, Taishiro Ultimate Fairy Tale. Number 12, The Faraway Paladin. Number 11, Tact Op.Destiny, which
I think it didn't move up. Wasn't it lower?
it was at 16 and moved.
Oh.
So it's getting better, and I will say
Yeah.
I dropped it,
Getting-
by the way.
Oh,
Yeah, I
I'm
stopped
not
watching
dropping
it.
I stopped
I'm not-
watching
Well,
it.
I'm just behind, but I'm not gonna stop watching it.
I'm gonna know. I wanted to catch up to watch it for the end,
Right.
but
right.
I literally stopped at like episode 4, and then I haven't watched it again since. And
Yeah,
it's
I
I'm
think
pretty sure it's
on
like
5 or 6.
10 now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So moving on, Irina the Vampire Cosmonaut dropped down to 10th. That's a big drop.
Yeah. What was the position?
It was originally at 8, but the
okay.
fact that I think it was the week prior, it was at 6. So it's been
So
just
it's
going lower and
slowly
lower.
going
Yeah,
lower,
it's going
yeah.
slowly getting lower and lower. Rankings of King dropped down from 2, or dropped down 2, so it's at number 9 now. Banished from the Heroes Party. I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside. Dropped down from 6 to 8. Komi Can't Communicate. Dropped down from 5 to 7. The world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. Dropped down from, what was it, 2 to 6, which is a huge
That's
drop.
a big drop. Yeah.
That one is scary, but although I kind of agree.
Mhm.
It's kind of it's doing that thing where you just said with My Senpai's Annoying. Right,
Mhm.
this episode was just really lackluster. Was not a big fan of it. It ended off on a really big cliffhanger, but like other than that, it's not whatever. Mieruko-chan dropped from number 1 to number 5.
I'm kind of surprised about that because like right now they introduced like
Don't spoil. Don't spoil.
okay, they introduced a character where it's
I do want to watch that one, so.
I don't want to say he's the closest thing to the bad guy of the story, I guess you can say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Spoil.
Kind of.
How is that a spoil?
It's kind of a spoil. But
It-
it's okay. It's
a
my
character
fault
was
for not.
introduced. A character was
Not catching up.
introduced. There's clearly gonna be some conflict, so it's interesting. to see
Great.
that,
Now I know there's conflict.
yeah, you're doing that thing that,
I'm
you're doing that
kidding,
thing that
I'm
Alex
kidding.
does, all right?
But yeah, I mean, seeing the literally the number 1 and number 2 of last week drop down all the way to 5 and 6 is insane.
Yeah.
Granted, the shows it kind of competed against, I'm not too surprised either. My Senpai is Annoying dropped down from 3 to number 4, and we're down to our top 3, which is insane. Because 86 Part 2 stays at number 3 from last week.
Are any of you guys watching that one?
No,
No.
I dropped it
yeah.
in the
Okay.
first season, so
Oh.
continuously seeing that it's actually getting good reviews, like I kind of might want to watch this again. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Entertainment District arc is at number 2 and it's
Stay at
staying
number
there.
2, yeah.
And the number 1 jumping up 3 spots from number 4 is Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Part 2. So a pretty surprising list, especially with a lot of the majority of you, if you look at the list, it's nothing but drops. And the only gain was Mushoku Tensei.
Right.
So, I mean, Mushoku is really getting really good right now, especially because within the season, it's starting to, we're starting to see an evolution of the story and a kind of hard stop gap for the main character, where he's like, okay, I'm not as OP as I thought I was, and so now he has to go through a training arc. and has to learn more about like the magic that he uses and things like that. And we're kind of see like seeds of doubt starting to get placed into like other characters who were once very confident in themselves and things like that. So it's like it's starting to really build on the world and on the characters themselves. So that's where it's getting really good. They definitely changed some things up from the manga, which I mean we've already talked about. But I mean, hey, maybe the light novel adaptation is pretty correct. So there's that. However, Demon Slayer, no surprise. I wouldn't be surprised by at the end of this like ranking list it ends up at number 1 because it is so
by next
good.
week. Yeah, by next week I'm pretty sure it's gonna be number 1.
Yeah, I don't think this episode that we just watched today is gonna make it number 1.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you guys like, how do you guys feel so far about the first 2
I like it.
episodes?
I actually like this episode a lot.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I feel like it's not. Obviously, it's not the action that we want,
No, it's very like
but it's gonna get there.
comedic, like
It was
very,
a very
funny
goofy
and yes.
episode. Yeah.
I just don't know how I feel about it yet.
I just feel like it's just setting up pretty much.
Oh, for sure.
You know, so.
But it's like season 1, like it started off like very like sad and like gloom. You know, all the bad things happen, and then like this season's like a very different vibe right off the bat.
Right.
So, but maybe you're right. I think they're just building up.
Well, yeah, but you
What's
also
to
got to
come.
take into consideration that people have gone through the Rengoku arc, and then are continuing from there.
Okay,
So it's like we got 7 episodes before we got into this district arc.
this is true.
Yeah, so it's like they could be just doing if you just tuned in and are watching this, from the jump.
It's like a palate cleanser.
Yeah,
Because going from losing Rengoku, or,
literally a Hashira.
a fan favorite, like literally watching him die in front of you, and this badass fight, going into a funny episode. It's like kind of like
It's just playing with my emotions at this point. I'm
it's
like,
like
I
you're-
want to keep feeling sad and heartbroken.
it's
You
like
know,
you're resetting yourself. You know.
nah, it's throwing my feelings in a loop. I don't know.
I will say though, I think the action's gonna start pretty soon, probably within maybe a little bit towards the end of this next episode that we're gonna get
True.
next week, and then that's when it's gonna actually start. Granted, you're gonna get like the bits and pieces of like, okay, here's more backstory, here's a little bit of this stuff, but like action will start kind of get spruced
Yeah.
in there, which I'm very happy about. But just to kind of finish off, like, what do we think about the list? Are we shocked? Are we happy? What's
I'm
the
not-
vibe?
I'm not super shocked about it. I mean, like Demon Slayer coming in, it's we know that it's a big heavy hitter. So we knew I'm not surprised that everything kind of started dropping down, making room for Demon Slayer. And the shows that I'm watching, I'm surprised that Comin went down, because Comin it's a good show. I'm really enjoying what they're doing. But with Senpai, like I said, they were just kind of, it just felt I feel like they wasted an episode almost,
Mhm.
So I don't know. It's just Mieruko-chan also. I'm surprised with that one too, that they dropped so much. But I just feel like everybody's paying so much attention to Demon Slayer that they're like, maybe they're putting everything else on the back end. I feel like, and especially with how do you say Mushoku Tensei,
Mhm.
right? So I feel like those two are like really, like everybody's paying attention more on those anime, and they're kind of putting everything else on the back burner. I feel like that's like the main reason why a lot of these shows are dropping in rank.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, just keep in mind that Mushoku Tensei and Demon Slayer were literally the top 2 anime that people were looking forward to on like the rankings list
Yeah,
at the beginning of the fall season. Like these were the 2 that everybody had at their
The
top.
most
Yeah.
anticipated.
But yeah, Arun, any thoughts on?
I keep
on
hitting
the
this mic with my glasses. No, I mean, I was just curious to know like how they go about like ranking each of these episodes. Like what?
I think it's fan voted.
It's fan
just,
voted.
like okay.
Yeah, just people just vote on it.
I don't know. I just feel like it's hard to like rank each individual episode. Like I rather just like wait to the end and then rank it the whole season. Like this
Mhm.
can, I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like these lists are just like, hey, how has everybody been enjoying it? Or like,
Okay.
if you had to pick, like you had one
what was
vote,
your
what
favorite
vote would be?
episode? Yeah.
Right.
And so this is what a lot of it is. And I'm pretty sure. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Anime Corner does what was the top 10 animes of the season voted by the fans, obviously. But things like that. So we'll see. I mean, unless they do something cool where like they just take the average of every single week, and then they just
Right.
kind of do the math and be like, all right, cool. Well, Mushoku Tensei placed at number 3 because of all the fluctuating position that they had. But nonetheless, yeah, we'll just move on. And I guess since we already kind of started talking about it, we'll just jump into Demon Slayer, season 2, episode 9, aka Demon Slayer District Arc, episode 2. And so Rafa, if you don't mind, give us a nice little recap
Sure.
of the episode.
So it opens up with I forgot his name. Flashy guy.
Nice.
Flashy guy. Whatever.
Tengu.
Is that his name?
I think so.
The,
I'll look it up. You go ahead.
The Hirishuba, whatever his name is.
Sound
Shiro?
Hashira.
Yeah, that guy.
Tengen Uzui.
Yeah, him, the sound guy.
The flashy guy.
Yeah, the flashy guy, the flashy sound guy.
The flashy god.
And, yeah, and
There you go. The god of festivals.
Right,
Yeah.
the god of festivals. So he's there talking smack to our three main guys, saying like he's the best and they suck, and that they have to listen to him and whatever he says.
Mhm.
Then it cuts to them being at the district, right, in the entertainment district,
Mhm.
and he kind of and he's like, hey, stay in the car, don't leave, and they because they've never been in a city at night that's like so lively, they start running around, being distracted and everything, goofing off. Eventually, sound guy gathers them up. He's like, hey, I have 3 wives in the town,
Mhm.
and they've been supplying me information about the demon that lives here, because this is a perfect place for a demon to live in, because everybody's out at night, everybody's asleep in the day, right? So but they stopped giving me information, and I need you guys to go check out, see what's going on, why, like, I haven't heard anything from them, go figure it out. But then they need like a way into like the houses, because they're like brothels, right? Like,
Yeah.
because they're just a bunch of hoeing going on over there. And
Very nice. Right?
yeah, right.
Well said.
Very nice, beautiful.
Right, all right. I'm a master of words.
There wasn't a better word.
No, what would have been a better word? I don't know. Hoeing.
Yeah, there's
It
not
was
really.
prostitutes.
Don't
Or,
Prostitutes.
double down.
I mean,
and say
it's
it
kind of
again.
better than
Yeah,
hoe.
professional hoeing. Was that better?
Prostitute.
Sit here, double.
Anyways,
Triple, take it.
Right.
Continue.
So then they have the master plan of dressing up the 3 main guys as girls, to have them infiltrate these houses to see to find out what happened to his wives, and that's pretty much the episode right there. They do show at the end that one of the wives is captured by the demon,
Mhm.
and she's being held hostage, and that's kind of pretty much the episode right there. There's a lot of jokes, a lot of goofiness happening throughout the episode itself, especially around the 3 main guys being dressed as girls,
Mhm.
and being in that environment, in those scenarios, like Tanjiro, like, he's just really nice, and
He has a scar on his
and
head.
his-
And the,
right, and
yeah.
the main lady was like super pissed, was pulling his hair, so he just kind of became like a
houseworker.
like a houseworker, like helping around. I forgot the name of the other guy. The
Inosuke.
Inosuke was so like to shut up, not to talk, because he has such a
husky,
manly voice.
Yeah,
such
like
a manly
husky
voice. So he just walks around being quiet.
But then also, like, the
I
main
like that
lady was. Yeah, go ahead.
They took off his makeup, and they were like, "Oh my god!" They were like hiding this. His face is so beautiful
Like,
because
so-
he has
he's
very
so-
like
right, like-
feminine like
Yeah.
features.
Right, exactly. And then the annoying yellow guy.
Zenitsu.
Isn't it?
Right.
He's my
He's
favorite.
so annoying.
I
How
love
can
him.
he be your favorite?
I think he's cool. I think his power is cool.
But, like,
I
do
don't-
you like him when he's not sleeping?
I think he's funny.
Oh,
I
God.
find him really
You were
funny.
too far gone.
I don't know.
There were some parts that I did find funny in this episode, but like just in general, he's just so annoying.
And I
'Cause
like
he's
that's
always yelling.
I just
that-
think there's
that's
always
his
something
thing.
crying.
So
He's
I
always
don't know.
crying, yeah. But anyways, so
Takemichi 3.0.
maybe, I don't know. He's
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 a
better
bad
than
fighter. He
Takemichi.
actually
He
fights.
actually
Yeah,
does something.
fights,
He
yeah.
knows how to-
even though he's
knows how to
passed
fight.
out, he actually does something. And with this guy, apparently he's such a bust down that nobody wanted him.
Bust. Psyduck, why are you shaking your head?
Right.
I can't remember. It's gonna fall.
Grab him by the
Never
whole
mind.
head.
I'm gonna try.
But so then sound guy is like, hey, just take him off my hands, bro. I don't want him. Just do.
You can even make him work in the house, clean
right,
toilets.
make him scrub toilets, whatever. Just get him out of here. And he's so, the yellow guy is so mad that he's playing like the classical Japanese instrument. I forgot what's it called, but like he's like going in on it all crazy. And then like he's thinking to himself like, I'm gonna become the best,
Oirun.
the best professional hoe that could be around.
It's Oiran. Oiran.
Yeah.
Hector gave me the word, and you still
Like
chose not
professional
to
hoe.
say
I
it.
chose to ignore Hector and just go down the path that I chose. But yeah, that's pretty much the recap of the episode itself. I had a lot of fun with it. I really enjoyed it. It was funny. It was really funny. It was, like I said, it felt like a palate cleanser to me. Like, hey, yeah, we just saw Goku die. It's super sad. Everybody missed him because he was fucking awesome. Forget about that. Enjoy some laughs and get ready for the next this next arc. That's what I felt about this episode, and I enjoyed it. It was really funny. I liked what they were doing.
Before we give our full takes or our thoughts, do me a favor. I want you to say this, okay?
Okay.
No, hold on, wait. Okay.
Orion.
Professional hoe.
Okay. I knew that was gonna happen. I wonder how they say it in English.
Orange.
Orange.
That is
Wow.
not it, but yeah. I mean, overall episode, kind of like Rafa had mentioned, I definitely feel like this is a cleansing your palate of like super sad Rengoku, but badass fight. This is
Right.
more of a let's build the world more of Demon Slayer, kind of get you to understand more from like Uzui, the Sound Hashira, and kind of learn more about him and the fact that he has 3 wives and they're all badasses because they're all female shinobis or like ninjas.
They're ninjas, yeah.
They're called kunoichis, right? That's the
Yeah, that's
female?
like the female ninja.
Yeah. And yeah, it's like you see that one of them was allegedly accused of kind of running away and not paying her debts. There's an actual specific word for it, but the only word I can think of is anteku, and that's not the word because that's the
Started
name
with
of the
A.
cafe for
It was like
Tokyo Ghoul.
It was like Ashuru or something. Like that.
Ashuke
Something, yeah.
or
Yeah, start with a name.
But yeah, so essentially
Atsuke.
one of the wives up and left ran away from like the brothel or whatever the place is, the actual name of the place is called, and just didn't pay her debts, and so that happens very often. So a lot of people aren't really like they're not batting an eye at it.
But that's not the truth, right?
But
Like,
that's
she-
not the truth.
Okay.
No, yeah. And then the other, and Tanjiro then explains like, oh, what a convenient thing to do or say, that happens to women because demons can use that as an excuse, so they just pluck and take people out of or kill them and eat them and whatnot, and like, oh, they just ran away and didn't pay their debts, like, so that comes up, and then you also see the second wife, because like I said, the Hashira has 3 wives. One of the other wives is being captured by, obviously it's going to be a demon or something.
Yeah, but we don't know much at
yeah.
that point. We just saw like her lips or something at the
Yeah.
end, and
And like she's like all like, is it bondaged up? Is that the proper word for it? She's like tied up by a bunch of
tied
ribbons
up.
and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it looks really crazy. And Inosuke is like he was right about to
Yeah.
discover it, and that's where the episode ends off. So, I mean, I liked it only because it did kind of build up the next episode, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm excited for next week. Can't wait to watch it. Especially with like if you guys don't know, we're all watching it together. This is the first like show that we're actually all 3 of us are watching, with like the rest of the guests, people that are part of Geek Chart Podcast. So, I mean, yeah, it's super dope. I liked it. I like the kind of funniness because I know that the hard hitting action is coming, and it's gonna be a small build up until we get like the full on boss fights and things like that. And I will say these boss fights that we're gonna get against the people that we are gonna fight towards the end of the season.
that's
gonna
right.
be-
You already
it's gonna be
know.
fucking
You already know
dope.
what's gonna
Yeah.
happen, right? Exterior, yeah.
It's gonna be dope. They're gonna be really really good fights.
Mhm.
So I'm excited. I'm super excited for it.
I also want to say I love the opening. The opening is really good.
The
The so-
opening
oh,
is
yeah.
so good.
The
So is the
opening song.
closing.
The closing's good.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
both songs and visuals are
Yeah,
great.
some really good stuff.
I like this opening more than the Rengoku opening.
Definitely.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
that one.
No, this one's
This
is
one's
way
10 times
better. This
Mm.
one's way.
I'm not saying it
better.
was bad. I'm just saying this one is a lot better.
Yeah.
What did you think, Renee? What did you think of the episode?
I mean, I understand what they're doing. I do enjoy the goofy moments, and especially when it's with them dressing up as females and them going through the houses and everything. Like, it had its moments, but I guess I just wanted more so of like hints of those moments. It felt like it was just goofy all the way through until the very end, where we'll get more next episode. But I understand. I understand what they're doing. You know how I am. Like, I just want to see. I just want to see the action. I want prepare for the. I know I'm gonna cry. Like, there's stuff's gonna go down. I'm just ready for that. But I mean, once again, I appreciated the moments that we got. And I mean, like you said, it's good. The build up's gonna be like worth it. So
Yes.
I'll chill out.
Great.
I'll
Yeah.
chill out.
Yeah, I mean, from all the anime that I watched this week, this is my favorite
episode.
I really enjoyed this episode a lot.
Out of the first like 2?
No, like
like out of all the
like what he's
anime you just
watched
watched.
this
from
week,
all from all the anime that I watched this week, because I really enjoyed this episode a lot. You know, like a lot. It was just a lot of run of the
Very
mill,
goofy.
average stuff with a lot of the other shows that I saw.
Mhm.
Other than Comin. Comin's just been and Blue Period. Those two have just been really top tier, but everything else has just been kind of like, okay, I guess just another episode. And with this one, even though it was a lot of setup and just kind of getting things ready for us for all the action, I really enjoyed the comedy. I don't know, it was good for me.
And I was just gonna ask too, like, do you think they played up the goofiness too because now we do have a much younger audience kind of watching, or is that just I don't know? I was thinking maybe because like season 1 we got all those moments like them but it wasn't as much as I feel like we got in this episode in particular. This one just felt completely goofy.
For me, what I'm thinking is one, because it does deal with prostitution, right? So it's kind of a touchy subject, right?
So that's probably why they played
I
up
feel like
more of
so
the
that's really they make it a little bit more humorous, and also I kind of feel like once the action hits, it's not gonna stop.
Got it.
So there might not be any room for goofiness.
So they're throwing it to us now because we probably won't get a lot of it later.
I mean, and kind of bounce off of what Rafa said. It's like they even changed the name of the entertainment district. It's supposed to be red light district. Like the actual translation is supposed to be red light, or like I think it's like prostitution district, something like that. But for sure, red light district is like a red light district is a closer like actual meaning for it, and like they just didn't want to do that. They just didn't want to show that as part of like the Demon Slayer thing. So they're just like, all right, cool. Well, we'll just change it to entertainment district, and a lot of fans were very upset about that. But I feel like that's something so minor that it's just like,
yeah, it didn't bother me that they. But that's what I asked. Like, are they kind of throwing in more of the humor, and they're changing because now there's a younger audience watching the show who are fans as well. Like, that was my point.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think so. I mean, they still said prostitution in the episode. Like
they did.
Like, you know, it's not. It doesn't seem like they're like shying away from it. Like I said, I just feel like they're like, hey, let's get our laughs in before shit gets real.
I will say at a certain point in the manga, it's like nothing but seriousness. Like you don't get any joking stuff anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's definitely towards the end, obviously, because the end, it's the big fight and everything. But like, I know a little bit beforehand of that, like it's like a big portion of the final like kind of big act is like really just nothing but serious straight action. So it's just like, I guess they're just. I mean, I know in the manga it was kind of silly even at this point too. So it's like maybe they might be playing up a little bit, but I think it's just going still on track of where it's supposed to be. But yeah, that's that.
Yeah, can't wait for the next one. So
now, moving on to something that I would admit I did not watch because I completely forgot about it. Platinum End episode 10.
Yeah, I don't blame you for forgetting. Platinum End has just been really disappointing this season. Or this first season, whatever.
Since the beginning, I was not
loving
it as much as I had hoped for.
Right. So this episode, as where we left off, what's his name? The detective, his wife and his daughter were captured like in this dome thing, and then like the ugly ass pretty guy,
Hajime,
the guy with the sword, the assassin dude. He's there and he's like ready to prove to Metropolitan Man that he's a servant trying to capture these guys. So they go, him and Takemichi 2.0. So they're there, and the detective, without thinking, runs into the dome and gets captured into the dome, like he's inside the dome. And inside the dome, you can't see out, so it's like a one-way mirror type of thing. So you're inside the dome, you can't see the outside, so you're just kind of just standing in there, and you can't get out, right? And that's when Metropolitan Man shows up, and he's like, okay, well, we're gonna kill him. Here we go, me and you, servant. And that's when Takemichi runs inside to the dome itself. Yeah. Which was really stupid because he ran inside, the door opened, and he just kept going. He could have just hold the door open, like, come on, let's get out of here, but whatever. He got locked inside with them.
Would they have been able to get away, though? I mean, they got arrows pointed at them. Like, I don't even think it
I don't know. I felt like
It was a little weird.
I don't
The
know.
setup was a little weird.
Yeah, I felt like they could have somehow did something, but whatever. So he goes inside because he doesn't have a plan. He runs inside and he's like, okay, they're outside. They're ready to kill us. I'll grab your daughter. You grab your wife and start flying around in this dome as fast as you can, because you know with the way the powers work,
Yeah.
the wings are faster than the arrows.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just flying in this dome fast as fuck. So Polyman and the assassin guy, they can't see where they are, so they can't shoot them with the arrows.
Okay.
Right?
Just to buy them some time to figure out.
Yeah,
how to get out.
that was his master plan. So they're in there for like days, flying around in circles.
Days?
Mhm.
Days.
Mhm.
Days. They're flying around in fucking circles, and then dude's like, I don't know what we're doing. They're just in here flying in fucking circles. Like, well, I guess you're just wishing for a fucking miracle, bro. Because he had no fucking plan. He said himself, I don't have a plan. We're just in here flying in circles
God, man.
for fuck all, I guess. So they're in there flying around in circles, and then like the detective, he's like starting to like lose like consciousness, and he starts like remembering about like his family or whatever, and like he regains strength and he keeps like flying or whatever. And out of yeah,
that sounds so cringy, dude.
Dumb. It's fucking stupid. So then Metropolitan Man leaves, right? He's like, all right, I'm not gonna be fucking around here wasting my time. He's a smart man. Like, I'm gonna leave. Let me know if something happens, like if they leave or not, because like you do that thing like because they can hear them, like when they're in the thing flying around, they can hear them, and he's like, okay, we're leaving now. We're leaving. Okay, guys. Hey, Metropolitan Man, we're leaving. We're out of here. Bye. But they can't see them because they're flying so fast, and they just stop talking to each other, and they're like, did they leave the dome?
No,
I don't. Well, we can't check. Well, they're not in there. But well,
Why didn't they check?
Huh? Because
Why-
then they would just leave. They would just walk out.
No, true.
Like that's what they were hoping for. That they would check so they could just leave. But Metropolitan Man, because he's not a fucking idiot, he's like, hey, just sit there and watch.
Yeah.
Like they're pretty sure they're still in there because there's no way to get out of this dome because we made the fucking dome, right? So yeah. So the assassin guy's there, and because the assassin guy's a fucking idiot. He's like, what? What about if they actually did get out? How do we know they didn't get out? And Metropolitan Man's like, hey, bro, just sit here, stare at the dome. If something happens, hit me up. I'm getting the fuck out of here. So he leaves, and then out of miracle of God,
That's what you're saying.
These are God's
Yeah.
candidates.
yeah, Revel, the angel for the girl,
Okay.
he finally was able to become a first ranked angel
Mhm.
because he emphasize is that the word? He felt bad for the girl.
Empathize.
So you started crying.
Yeah, so he started crying, which apparently angels don't have emotions. There's something they can't not do. They can't cry, and because he was able to
He became the
feel.
first angel to feel
emotions.
Ooh.
So
Mhm.
like that's how he became a first ranked angel. He became the angel of emotions. Like that's his rank. That's his title.
That's pretty whack.
Yeah. So
hold on one second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit him with one of these again.
Yeah. So like because he felt bad for the girl, he started crying, and God's like, "Hey, bro, cool. Here you go."
GG's,
And you
man.
saw God in
Take
a little
this.
bubble. Mhm.
Yeah. he's
Really?
Like, yeah. He's like, "Here you go, bro. Here's your other ring. Good job for crying. I'm out of here." So then Revel's like, "Hey, here's your wings, girl. Have fun."
Literally.
Yeah.
That's how it went.
Yeah. So
Wait,
then
for real?
Yeah, like he threw her like
he
the
took off
other
like,
ring.
Yeah, like
and
the
it-
halo,
yeah.
and it went around her neck.
Yeah. and
She
got
gained her wings. She put on her cat suit
Yep.
and fucking went to go save them because she's like, it's been days. Where could they be? You know. So she gets there and she's hiding and she sees the assassin dude like staring at the dome, like he's standing on the dome staring at it, just waiting, I guess.
Mhm.
And she shoots him with the red arrow, right?
Mhm.
Because he doesn't have the red arrow in him, right?
Because he's just willingly working.
He's just
Mhm,
really
right.
yeah, right. So then he's like he falls in love with her, and like he's like debating with himself, like, oh shit, I love Metropolitan Man, but now I love this girl.
Mhm.
What I'm conflicted here. What side do I choose, right? And like, he's about to tell Metropolitan Man that like what just happened, but he turns and looks at the girl, and the girl goes like this, like shh, like all cute and shit, like
Little bubbles and sparkles are in the air.
the anime shit.
My God.
And he's all like, oh, she's so cute. He like loses his shit, like busts his nut and everything. Like he's losing his mind, right? Yeah, exactly.
Literally,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And so then like so he calls Mr. Pontaman. He's like, hey, like he's about to say it, and Mr. Pontaman's like, hey, bro, don't fucking waste my time if you're not gonna tell me shit, you know. So then, fuck, I'm trying to remember what happened. They end up getting him out, right?
I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, I'm trying to blank too. Like this is like it stops right here. Like I don't remember where it goes from here. I'm seriously trying to remember it.
Why is that like the last thing I remember though? Like that was
that the end of the episode?
Him falling in love with her.
Yeah, like that's the last thing I remember.
Because I have no idea what happens after, so I think
that's the end of the
I
episode.
might might be the end of the episode. I don't know.
It was the end of the episode for us.
I guess so, because like because I don't remember what happened. So I'm pretty sure that's the end of the episode.
Wow. Well, kind of glad I didn't watch it. It really sucks to say, considering it's like it's Death Note's not spiritual successor, but like, you know, the creator of Death Note made that, or made Platinum End. So
I mean,
it's just
that's
like,
what I was really excited. I'm like, oh, okay, like, you know, Death Note came out a bit ago, so I was like, oh, like cool. They, you know, this is a whole new project. You know, it seemed really interesting, and then like it just
wasn't.
Yeah, it just
It was
went.
a big old smack in the face. I thought you liked Death Note. Just kidding.
Just watch
This
Death
isn't
Note.
it.
Just watch Death
Go
Note.
back and
Don't
watch
watch this.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's been very lackluster. I mean, I know me and you have agreed that we can see where this could get really good, where it can get towards like Death Note levels, if like the main character like just goes full on evil and just.
But I mean, we're already at the end of this season.
That's how the episode ended.
Okay, cool.
That's how the episode ended.
I was really nervous. I'm like, I don't remember what happens
I was
after.
like, what happens next? I know that's just,
okay.
She was like, don't say nothing. It's like credits. Cool. All right.
Love that. But yeah, I don't know. It
was pretty dog shit.
And he's still very ugly. The Hajime
the
oh my
assassin
gosh.
Yeah. His smile is
the way he's
the
just
grossest
drawn
thing I've
and
ever seen.
Yeah, it's just overall they're just all shit characters.
Yeah. There's better anime at this point to watch, guys.
Yeah,
watch Mieruko-chan, watch Demon Slayer, watch Mushoku.
Watch Demon Slayer. Just watch Demon Slayer. Fuck.
But yeah, I mean, tune back next week for us to shit on this show again.
it was like, damn, that's how you're gonna end it, I guess. Like, it's fucking annoying. Like, he went in there like, let's just fly around in circles and just pray something fucking happens. Like, bro, you don't. There's like no plan. Like, there's no like cool way. Like, you know how like anime finds like that crazy cool way like for them
when
to
you
get
said
out
they're
of
flying
situations.
around, my thought would have been like the arrows just crash into each other and break.
Yeah, they didn't even shoot. They were just like, oh, we can't see them, so let's just not even shoot.
Wait, what?
They didn't shoot because that's when they started
I thought the
running.
arrows were following them as they're flying around.
No, they never. You have to aim.
Stupid.
They never shot.
Yep, yeah.
I'm actually mad.
They started flying. They're like, oh well,
so dumb.
like they're gonna shoot at us. We can't see where they are, but they're gonna shoot at us. So we don't know where the arrow's coming in. So we gotta fly so they can't see us.
Right.
That's the guy's plan, and
So
that's as far as that plan went. Like, there was no way for them to get out of the dome. They were just, like I said, I'm telling you,
yeah,
they were just flying in circles for like days.
My thought was like the arrows following them as they're flying. So it's like a homing missile.
They didn't have a chance to even aim at them.
Like Mr. Pontaman said, like, hey, this is dumb. I'm out of here.
Yeah, they made it seem like Hajime was having a hard time believing if they were still in the dome or not, because like they had their angels hiding too. So the angels were like under, like hiding,
right,
and then
they were also hiding,
they were just spinning, and he was just like, I don't even know if they're in or not. Like, it was, but yeah, same. It was a stupid plan. Like, I thought he would have came up with something more clever.
Right.
Okay.
I'm like, it's been days. They have a pregnant woman and a child. I'm like, that can't be good. They don't have no water. They're not eating.
You gotta poo.
They have to pee.
Right.
What are they doing?
They're just pissing themselves, flying in circles. It must smell nasty as fuck in there.
Anyways, let's just move on into anime swap.
Nice, I like that.
Yeah, I guess we're moving into anime swap. This week we have Renee and Rafa reacting to the anime I gave them, which was The Ancient Magus's Bride. I already know, because it's been spoiled a little bit, that we have two different reactions.
Yeah.
So we'll start off with the negative Nancy over here. Rafa, thoughts on The Ancient Magus's Bride?
Yeah,
When you start like that, I already know.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy the show that much. And I feel like it's not the show, it's me. Because watching it, like,
that's the best response.
It's not the show, it's me.
Yeah, like watching it, I understand why people like it. I get like the fan base or whatever. Like, I get why it's so popular.
If you get it, then
It just didn't catch my
And why aren't
interest.
you about it?
I just didn't catch my interest. I didn't really care for it. There was points that it did make me laugh. Like some of the humor was pretty funny or whatever. It's just and like they did a really good job with like world building. It's me. I don't know. Like all the pieces are there for it to be a good show and a show that I would like. But it was just boring. It didn't catch my interest.
Like it wasn't
bored.
enough action.
I guess I don't know. There's just something about it. I was just like, I didn't care for it, you know. And it's weird because normally it's something like this. I would be like, yeah, I'm all about this show, but I don't know. Maybe I have to give it another chance and watch it again.
You might have to watch more episodes.
Maybe.
As hard as it might sound, but you might have to watch it.
I might have to give it another shot, but like I don't know. I just like I don't know, like it opened with the girl like signing the contract, like turning over herself to be a slave or whatever, and then
it started off weird.
Yeah,
I didn't know where the show was gonna go.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, at what point did you like the show? Like, did you like it episode 1, or did you like it into like episode 2 or 3?
I'm trying to remember how episode 1 ended. I guess like 2, there was more of a build up. 1, it was weird. Like I said, I didn't know where it was gonna go. Like you see this girl, she's signing this contract. They're obviously trying to like sell her. I'm like, oh, like what is this? I'm like, what is Hector making me watch this week?
Right.
Like, great. You know, and she was all chained up. I'm like, okay, great. And you know, she sat on the stage, and then the main character, the dude with the skull, who looks super cool and super creepy, like just comes in and like buys her. So it started off weird. Like I was like, but
Right.
I think episode 2 is when you start learning more about his character and what he was actually trying to do, and he makes her like his apprentice and stuff. That's when I started getting into it. And then a lot of stuff happened, but I would say after episode 1.
Okay.
Yeah, it's such a weird beginning because like she's in slavery,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, yeah, I'll give me her. One lady, please.
5 million.
Right.
He paid a lot of money.
Then
I
that was
like,
weird.
oh, creepy.
Right,
Like,
exactly. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, sure. And then like so he buys her. He's like, all right, come along, puppy. I'm like, bro, why are you calling her a puppy? That's weird. I don't know.
You didn't know her name.
I mean, one, he didn't know her name,
yet.
and two, it's
Yeah.
like he didn't bother to care because at the beginning of the first episode, he really doesn't care. He just needs an apprentice.
Yeah, but like, can't say like girl, human, person.
But you also got to remember that
Trained.
he's not exactly a human either. Like
not.
he's this otherworldly thing.
Right, but
I don't know. I mean, I'm
I
not
don't know.
defending it. I also thought it was pretty weird that he said puppy.
I just didn't know where it was gonna go.
I was just like, okay, I guess. But I mean, like, other than like that, or like the this is more like on episode 1 because episode 1 is kind of weird. They had like a weird thing. Like he took off like her chains or whatever. He's like, all right, get in the bath. And she's like,
oh,
please.
yes, the bath episode.
Yeah. And she's like,
Yeah.
please, like, leave
She's
me
very
alone.
uncomfortable. I'm like, oh
Right, I'm like,
no,
yeah.
I'm uncomfortable if you are.
I was like, yo, stop, leave her alone. He's like trying to tear off her clothes. I'm like, bro,
He's
what
like,
the
I have
fuck?
to show you how to bathe correctly because I guess it
Yeah.
was a special bath or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
mm.
I was
Yeah.
like, this is.
I remember seeing
this
that
is
scene
very.
He left eventually though.
This is very sus vibes I'm getting from here. But eventually, like Renee said, like he was just like, hey, I need an apprentice, whatever. And it went on from there. Just, I don't know. I like I said, I think I might have to give it another chance. But as of right now, this is a no go for me.
Okay, well, we go from one side of the coin to the other. Renee, what did you think about
Okay.
the show?
Yes, I was skeptical because you recommended this last week, and I think you gave us like a little like
Oh no, yeah,
synopsis, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna
Not gonna like this
not
one.
gonna be the one for me. I would say like right off the bat, like I noticed how great the animation was. Like I thought it
Yeah.
looked really good for a show that came out like what do you say, like 2016 or something like that.
Yeah, around that time.
17, I think.
Yeah.
It was 17.
So I was like, okay, cool. I can get into this. You know, the visuals are nice. It started off weird. Didn't know what was gonna happen to her. You know, you have this main character. She's chained. She's being sold, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. And then is Elias his name? Elias? That's me. So yeah, the creepy skull dude, you know, comes and he buys her and whatnot, and you then, you start to see what he's trying to do, and like we know that he's trying to make she's Chise,
yeah.
Chise, his apprentice, but then you also find out that he wants to also make her his future bride. And essentially he wants to like make her a mage, you know, like she's gifted already, like he's able, like she has the ability of sight.
Vision
so she's already powerful and she doesn't know about herself yet, but he sees it in her. So the first few episodes, I think it's essentially just her kind of learning from him, and you know, she starts to grow an attachment to him, and you start to see that like their relationship, and I was all for it. Like it, I don't know, man, like he's just a skull dude, but like he was very like charming at the same time, like his mannerisms and just the way he was treating her. You know, he gave her a home, they lived together, like you know, you can tell he cares about her. So like the more, and I kept watching past the 3 episodes.
Oh, okay.
I'm like on episode 8.
Okay. Wait.
But like a lot happens, and like it's cool just to see Chise's character, like she's getting stronger. Like we already know how like she's super badass, like the way she's able to use the crystals, and she made like that whole flower field and stuff. So like it's just this, I like the character development. The pacing's very nice, and then you just, her and Elias's relationship, you see it to get more intense, and I don't know, like it's just, they kept leaving you on a cliffhanger. So I'm like, oh shoot, I'm like,
I gotta watch
the next one. I'm like, oh, gotta watch it again. So it kept going and going, and I didn't think this was gonna be something I enjoyed, but I think once again the seeing her get stronger, and seeing her relationship with him, and you kind of find out more details, like the fact that she's not, I think she only has like 3-4 years to live once she like becomes a mage. But like he has this plan that's not gonna happen. He's not gonna allow that. You actually get to see him being attached to her. And then like, you know, just there's stuff happens along the way, but I think it's super enjoyable. Once again, didn't think I was gonna get into it, but I'm probably gonna finish it like end of this week.
Love to see that. So I just wanted to check the genres of it. It's a dark fantasy, mystery, and supernatural anime.
Oh, look at that. Yep.
All
Renee.
the check marks. Yep. And then I had a kind of a question. Have you met the black dog familiar yet?
Yes, that was the last episode I watched.
I love that character.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that character. He's like
we don't we just got introduced. Like Chise and Elias just went to the church, and like they discover like a body, like a woman's body, and it, like she was murdered or whatever, and he was injured. The wolf guy was like injured as well. And then he told her that she resembles his sister who passed. Can I talk a little bit more about that episode? And then now, because I'm remembering, there's this like villain guy. Like I don't know if he's a mage.
The guy with the silver hair.
He looks like a kid. Yeah.
He's a evil mage. Yeah.
So he kind of he does something to Chise in that episode, and Elias comes, and you actually start to see his actual like form, because he's super creepy. And I thought that was it, but then this episode you see more of what he's becoming, like, and then he has a even crazier demonic form. And it's so sick, and it only comes out when he gets mad. Pretty cool. It's so sick. And then I really like the wolf character, or the black dog character. I don't know a lot about him, but I want to. You'll learn this. You'll find out more within like the next episode or two, for sure. The next episode, but in the 2, and he kind of plays an integral role later on. Oh, okay. But I really he's like in the intro credits too, so like I'm like, okay, he's probably gonna eventually become. I was they were talking about like familiars, like how how she might need one, and I had a feeling like he was gonna become, because she saved him essentially, like he was like cut and wounded, and she kind of took him in and helped him, but that was my speculation, but we'll see. So I'm really happy you liked it. I was not really expecting it, especially how you guys both reacted. I hope you give it another shot. He's not. Maybe. But I mean, well, that's dope. All right, cool. So I mean, 1 for 2, I'll take it. Especially a big one, because you were 5 episodes deep. If I'm 8, if I'm behind, I'm saying like 5 past the 3. Well, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But if don't get mad if I'm behind on my other anime because
This
this
one.
is a priority this week.
Okay.
Just saying.
Well, I know this week we have Rafa giving us our recommendations. So Rafa, go
Oh
ahead.
boy.
Yes, I chose a old school anime this week.
How old is old?
It's pretty old.
Damn
You guys are
it.
yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys are not gonna like it because of the art style. But it is it's considered somewhat of a classic. Not as big as like Cowboy Bebop, but it's still pretty known. It's called Trigun.
Oh.
So it's awesome.
I know, I've heard of it. I think
Yes.
I've watched a couple
I
episodes.
have a T-shirt of this.
So pretty much
Do you really?
So pretty much it the main guy, I forgot his name, but the main guy of Trigun is this dude with a blonde hair. He has like this cool ass revolver. And he is the most wanted man in the universe. He has like a big ass bounty on his head.
Okay.
And he's legendary to be known as like this, I guess like this, like the most badass guy in the universe.
Bash the Stampede.
Yeah, thank you. So anywhere he goes, destruction follows. That's kind of like the tagline of him or whatever. And so you see his adventures, like he's going to town and like shenanigans happens and like the town gets fucking obliterated, and it's not really like, I'm gonna spoil a little bit. It's not really his fault. It's just like his legend kind of brings on all this insanity that through that insanity, everywhere he goes gets destroyed, like the town itself. If I'm like, I don't want to give away too much, but like that's kind of like the gist of it. So like he's at a town and they're like, oh, is that, you know, it was Bash, right? Vash. Oh, is that Vash? Oh, that's not Vash. That's just some other guy. And like, oh, I heard Vash is around. And then bounty hunters show up to the town to like check, and they're like, "Well, where's Vash?" And they start shooting up the joint. So and Vash he's just trying to get something to eat, and the town's getting destroyed because they're chasing this guy down, and he's just trying to get something to eat. Like that's like goofy, crazy action. It's a lot of fun. It kind of follows somewhat the same vibes of Cowboy Bebop, where Cowboy Bebop had like the jazz type thing. Trigun's more like country rock kind of fused in there. Not as heavy as Cowboy Bebop, but it does have some hints in there. It's a classic. It's a little bit more a sleeper, not as big as like Cowboy Bebop, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's cool.
According to IMDb, it is a 1998 release, and it has an 8.2 out of 10 stars.
Oh,
it's a classic.
they rated it pretty good.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, me too.
I've
Never watched it.
I've never watched it either. Or I swear maybe I've seen a couple, but I don't remember it.
The poster
well.
looks extremely different than what the anime actually looks like.
Yeah, the poster looks badass, but it's like
so
that
the
old
anime's
school...
not badass.
No, the anime is
Oh.
This
badass,
is
but
what the
like
anime
the
looks
let me see the poster.
it's like that
Oh.
old school anime look to it.
Mhm.
So
I thought the same thing.
good luck, boys.
But yeah,
Is
thank
there
you
like
guys so much.
cars? Is there like a lot of people drive? No, there's no cars in this.
Oh, it's
one,
like a lot of
racing?
like desert areas.
Oh,
and,
maybe
like-
not.
Oh, but
Okay, I
it
don't
does
know what I'm
definitely look like a
thinking.
lot of desert from the trailer that I
I
kind
think
of
it's
got a
something
glimpse
else.
at. But that's
Like I said, towns get fucked up, and he's just trying to enjoy his meal.
Okay.
all right. Well,
You said it's like action.
Yeah,
Okay, I mean,
like it's like action comedy.
Okay. I'll take it.
I hope it's more action than comedy. But
Same.
we move anyways. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Bento Boxcast. We appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys on the next one. Now, before we do go and say goodbye, let's give our final shout outs. Rafa.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed this podcast and you want to find some more entertaining podcasts that discuss video games, that is the Playing Pod here on this YouTube channel, Geek Jar Podcast. Also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all those other streaming services under
Anchor.
Anchor. Is it named Geek Jar 3000 on there? Geek Jar Podcast, Geek
Who
Jar
are you
Podcast.
talking to, Rafa?
I'm talking to Cy Doug. Thanks, Cy Doug. He used telepathy. Yeah, that. Maybe he should speak for me. So yeah, so you can find it under Geek Jar Podcast, under Anchor, under all of those services if you want to find that podcast. Also, we have the Panel Pals where we talk about everything comic book, DC, Marvel, TV shows, movies, all that stuff. We have a lot of fun there too. And yeah, that's it for now.
Well, which this week's panel pal will be a bit delayed because of the
Spider-Man.
exciting Spider-Man movie coming out. So
Yeah.
stay tuned. We'll just check our Twitter. You'll see from there. But also, Renee.
Yes, sir.
And then yeah, just giving a shout out to Artisan Gamer Shop. It's a shop that me and Alex started back in the year where we make art and gaming inspired mugs and decor. So yeah, if you guys haven't checked us out, you should definitely do that. Beautiful. Love it.
And last
Thanks.
but not least, make sure to check us out on Twitch. Myself, Rafa, Renee, and John all stream. Check down in the description down below for all of our stream links, and from there, drop a follow because you know we need it. And if you want to talk anime, all three of us are open to it. John's he dabbles in it, but not like us.
No, he's not cool like us.
He's not like us. But if you do like Legos, that's the place to go.
Oh yeah, talk about Legos.
Especially shout out Sally. Last but not least, yeah, make sure to tune in next week, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Goodbye.
Bye guys.
Special thanks to Psyduck. You hold it down.
You don't
Holding
hear
it
him,
down.
but I keep pressing him.
You did a good job switching the cameras.
Bye. Go.